Okay, in this video we're going to be talking about long division with polynomials. Okay, so long division, we're just going to do a normal example with just numbers. So if it lets me write there. 1, 6, 7, 8, 3. So if I was doing 1, 6, 7, 8, 3 divided by 4, okay, so I first check, can this 4 go into 1? It can't, so I bump it out. Can this 4 go into 16? Well, 4 times 4 gets me 16. Okay, and then I always subtract going down, so 0. I drop my next one. And I should have done this with a little more space down here. Okay, so my 4 can go into that 7 once. So 4 times 1 gets me 4. We always subtract. I drop my next one. 4 can go into that 8 9 times, because 9 times 4 gets me 36. I always subtract. I drop my next one. Going into 23 is 5. That's the closest thing I can get, which is 20. So I have a remainder of 3, because now that 4 can't go into that 3. Okay, so the dividend and the divisor need to be in descending order. We add zeros to be placeholders if we're missing a certain degree, which we'll find out in a second. But this is kind of what we're doing. We're dividing different polynomials this time. Okay, so my little one always goes on the outside. My big one always goes on the inside. So x cubed minus 8x squared plus 4x minus 9. So how many times I need x to get to x cubed? Well, I need to multiply by x squared to get there. So when I do this, I need to make sure I distribute to both of them. So x times x squared gets me x cubed. And then negative 4 times x squared is negative 4x squared. And they should be lining up. I don't need any placeholders in this one because I went x cubed, x squared, x, then my number. If I was missing one, I would want a placeholder of a 0. Okay, and then I always subtract going down. So if I subtract going down, I flip all those signs. So what I'm going to do is make this a minus and this a plus. So my x cubes will cancel. If I add this, I get negative 4x squared, and now I drop my next one. Okay, so to get from x to x squared, I need an x, and then to get it to a negative 4, I need a negative 4x. So I distribute again. Negative 4x times x gets me negative 4x squared. Negative 4x times negative 4 is a positive 16x. I flip my signs. Flip, flip. So now I've got a negative 12x. I drop my 9. To get from x to negative 12x, I need to multiply by negative 12. So I get negative 12x. Negative 4 times negative 12 is a positive 36. Okay, so my end answer here, I need to flip all my signs, so flip, flip. So I get negative 57 as my remainder. So if I'm dividing x minus 4 out of that, I get x squared minus 4x minus 12 minus, I have 57, and I'm still trying to divide that x minus 4 out of it. Okay, so that's going to be my final answer if I was dividing x minus 4 out of that big set of that x cubed. Okay, my next one here, x minus 3 divided by 2x squared minus 5x minus 3. To get from x to x squared, I need to multiply by x. To get it to be a 2, I need 2x squared. And then I distribute, so I get a negative 6x. We flip all our signs, so my x squareds will cancel. If I add down, I get an x, and then I drop my next one. To get from x to x, I just need to multiply by 1. So I get x minus 3. I flip all my signs, so when I add going down, everything cancels. So my answer is just 2x plus 1. Okay, my next one here, I've got x minus 1. I got x cubed. I don't have an x squared, so I'm going to put an x squared in. I don't have an x, so I'm going to put an x in, and then I got my minus 6, because if I multiplied those, they would be zeros. I need placeholders, so I don't have weird gaps coming when I start to distribute it in. Okay, so to get from x to x cubed, I need to multiply by x squared. So I've got x cubed minus x squared. This is why I had that filler, because now I have something to add that x squared to. Okay, x squared plus 0x squared is just going to give me x squared. And now I drop my 0x. So to get from x to x squared, I multiply by x. So I get x squared minus 1x. I flip my signs. So I still have that 1x left there. And now I can drop my negative 6. So I'm going to multiply by 1. To get x minus 1, we flip our signs. I have negative 5, and I can't get from x to a negative 5, so he'll be my remainder. So I take my answer, x squared plus x plus 1. Because it was a negative 5, I do a minus 5 over what I'm still trying to divide out of it, that x minus 1. Okay, my next one here, it doesn't look like I need any placeholders, so we're just doing x plus 2, x squared minus 3x minus 7. To get from x to x squared, we multiply by x. When I distribute, I get this, and then we flip all our signs. When I add going down, I get a negative 5x minus 7, so I need to multiply by a negative 5 this time. So when I distribute, I get negative 5x minus 10. We flip our signs, so I got a remainder of 3 this time. So x minus 5, it's a positive 3, so I could just do a plus 3 over what I'm still trying to divide out of it, that x plus 2. Okay, this minus 1, anytime you have a negative exponent, it's dropping it down to the center here. So if I would type in 2 to the negative 1 in my calculator, that's the same as 1/2. It's basically dropping it, it's flipping your fraction. So it's flipping it to the bottom of your fraction and making that 1 positive. Okay, so if I flipped him to the bottom, it would be the same as just dividing by him. So he's still going to be division, so we're putting him on the outside. I go cubed, squared, so I got my cubed, my squared, my normal x, and my number, so I don't need any placeholders. So to get from 5x to 15x squared, I need a 3x squared. So that's 15x cubed minus 12x squared. We flip. So 20x squared, drop our next one. So we have to multiply this one by a 4x. So when I distribute him, I get 20x squared minus 16x. We flip. Negative 5x, drop the next one. Have to multiply by a negative 1. So negative 5x plus 4, flip. I got a remainder of 2 left. So I've got 3x squared plus 4x minus 1 plus 2 over what I'm still trying to divide out of it. Okay, next one here, got my x plus 2, x cubed, I got my squared, I'm missing my x, and then I got my 1. So I need to multiply it by x squared. Flip. So I got negative 8x squared. We drop our 0x. So minus 8x to get me my negative 8x squared minus 16x. Flip. Drop my next one. We got to multiply by 16. So I get 16x plus 32. Flip. I got a negative 31. So my number up there, I got x squared minus 8x plus 16 minus 31 over what I'm still trying to divide out of it. Okay, your next two, if you haven't already done this, I would have the next two problems come up. I would pause the video, you would try them, and then see if you follow my same answers. So I've got 2x minus 7, I got my squared, my x, and my 98, so I can go ahead and go. So I have to multiply this by 4x to get my 8x squared minus 28x, flip. So I've got negative 28x plus 98. So I have to multiply by a 14, negative 14, to get that negative 28x plus 98, flip. So my 4x minus 14 is what I have left. Okay, my next one here, I got x plus 1. I've got my cubed, squared, x, and its number, so I'm good. So I multiply by x squared to get x cubed plus x squared. So flip, I got a negative 2x squared minus 10x. So I have to multiply by negative 2x this time to get my negative 2x squared minus 2x. Flip. Negative 8x, drop my negative 8. So we multiply by negative 8 to get my negative 8x minus 8. Flip. So we just get a pretty answer because that gets me 0.